Hey, clowns.
Hey, clowns. In clown fashion, we're giggling, so.
I'm here for the first episode or second or third or one of the first. This is fine. Yeah. I've had a good week. I got Juneteenth off, which was nice. And then we had Father's Day right before that. So it's been a fun, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Happy belated. This will probably be
Hmm.
pretty belated.
Right.
And happy Juneteenth. And I just want to say that more businesses should recognize Juneteenth as a holiday as well. Like, what the fuck are we doing celebrating President's Day or
Hmm.
Labor Day? What the hell are those? And not
Right.
Juneteenth?
Come on, people.
That's like
Get
one
with
of the
it.
most important things I feel like to celebrate. Okay,
For
but I'll get
sure.
off my soapbox.
But yeah, so today we are going to talk about Andrew Cunanan and his murder spree that he went on in the summer of 1997.
Okay.
And it's going to be a little bit of timeline hopping at first because I feel like it just makes sense to start with who Gianni Versace was, his last victim, the series of events that led Andrew Cunanan to murder Gianni Versace.
Yes, okay. I like it. It's kind of giving This Is Us, like kind of jumping around the timeline.
Right.
It's
Hmm.
masterful, really.
Right. Storytelling.
Yeah, at
Storytelling,
its
am I right?
finest.
Right. All right. So, Gianni Versace was born on December the 2nd, 1946 in Reggio. I hope I'm saying that correctly, Italy. And he was the middle of three children. He had an older brother named Santo and then a younger sister named Donatella, who he was especially close with. And she was pretty much his muse for all of his fashion designs. And they were very much a like creative kind of family. His mother
Mm.
was a dressmaker and she had all these women like, working in her shop with her and she was teaching them how to sew and how to design clothes and things like that. And Gianni really admired his mother and how she was very like independent in that matter, in that way.
Yeah, that's so
And
cool. That's
yeah.
such a cool thing to admire in a role model too.
Exactly. And it's like you can definitely see that in his designs because he did a lot of clothes for women that were very like independent, like boss babe,
Hell
but
yeah.
like in the late 70s, 80s, 90s,
Ooh,
So
really pushing it.
right, right. He was definitely challenging like gender norms and stuff.
Hell
But
yeah.
yeah, as a teenager, he was an apprentice in his mother's shop, and that's where he really just started being obsessed with clothes and designing. And then he moved to Milan at the age of 26. And then after some success with designing for different brands, he finally opened his own boutique in 1978. And that's considered like the launch of the brand Versace.
Cool.
And yeah, he was so different. He just quickly blew up and became like an international sensation. And
Wow.
he dressed Tupac, Elton John, Princess Diana. So he was dealing with some big names there. Um, so that was pretty much the start of his career. And then in the 90s, he was really at his prime. Like things were popping off for him. And then he also, what was interesting, he had a longtime partner named Antonio D'Amico. And they were just openly together and they openly would say that in interviews, which was also, a rare thing at that time. Not that it had never been
Yeah.
done, but it was still like, whoa, like,
It was brave for sure.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Such a different time. But I'm like, things have definitely gotten better, but you still see that. like
Yeah,
homophobia.
for sure. Yeah.
So yeah, so they were just known as being, you know, very living very luxurious, lavish lifestyles, very flamboyant. They did a lot of partying. They were party people. They loved going to clubs and things like that, and just jet setting all around the world. And he had residences all around the world as well. He had a beautiful mansion on Miami Beach. It looks like an Italian like villa. Absolutely gorgeous.
So cool. Good
Um,
for him. It's
yeah.
so cool because he like started doing this just like in his mom's shop. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
a rags to riches. I don't know. I love that. That's awesome.
It really is for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his family wasn't like super rich or anything as growing up. So yeah, rags to riches for
Mm-hmm.
sure. So around 8:45 a.m. on July 15th, 1997, Gianni was returning home from a walk around the block. He would usually stop by the newsstand to grab some fashion magazines, grab a cup of coffee from the local cafe. And as he was getting back to his house and he was unlocking the front gate, a man named Andrew Cunanan snuck up behind him and shot him 2 times in the head at point blank range.
Damn.
Yeah. And so as, you know, Gianni was just lying there dying on the steps, Antonio, his partner, heard the gunshots and rushed outside and saw him. And he noticed he saw a man in a baseball hat just calmly like walking away. But it's like in that moment, he's just trying to.
Help his partner.
Exactly. Yep.
Right.
And yeah, and Gianni was still alive. One of the bullets shattered the base of his like spine, or like from where his brain connects to his spinal cord, and then one kind of went through his cheek by his nose. And he did unfortunately pass away in the hospital a few hours later.
Mm.
But
Gosh.
yeah, super sad. And this caused obviously like a media frenzy. And no one had no idea who did this. It was just this person just seemed to vanish out of thin air. But this was actually. Mhm.
I was
Sorry.
just gonna say his poor partner too. Like I can't imagine just like it's just so fucked.
Yep,
Okay, so no
for
one knows who
sure.
this monster is.
Yep, no one knows who he is. But this person, this monster, Andrew Cunanan, had already killed 4 other people. And he was already actually on the FBI's most wanted list at this point. And for some reason, they still can find him. And there's just like a couple moments in the story where you're like, dang it, they were so close, and a couple things could have been avoided here, but
It's always so frustrating.
right. Oh my gosh.
And we see it so
So,
much in true crime too. It's just like, especially in some of these older cases.
mm-hmm. Yep,
Anyways,
when they
okay.
didn't have the same resources or whatever. So,
Well, thank you for warning me.
um,
Now I'm fully prepped for the disappointment.
yes, you'll be a little frustrated. Or what does
hmm
Camille say on Real Housewives? She's like, my friend told me to always expect the worst, so that way I'll never be disappointed.
You had the perfect tone for that too. Like I feel like all of their like little intro things have that same tone that you just had. I
Right.
love that. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's great. That's such a compliment. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that is just kind of the grand finale of his murders. But to understand how we got to this point, I'm just going to go into the background, and I am going to go into details on like his personality and who he was and his childhood, not to like excuse it or anything, but just to show like the context of his upbringing, because his
hmm
parents made some like really strange parenting choices. Like, I'm not anyone to like mom or dad shame necessarily. Like, I don't want to do that, but these people were weird.
Yeah.
Uh,
And there is still right and wrong too.
that is true. Yes. Yeah. This is like,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
yeah. This isn't normal mom and dad shaming.
Right. Yeah.
Consider.
And I think it's important too to see like where they come from as children too. It's interesting like psychologically sometimes. And it doesn't even always matter, you know.
Hmm.
But there are times, sometimes it's like, well, I can feel for the kid. It doesn't mean that you feel for the monster that this person
Yeah.
became, but I feel
Right.
like you can feel for the kid.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right. So Andrew Cunanan was born on August the 3rd, 1969, and he was one of four children. He was the youngest. He was born near San Diego. It's called National City, California. And his father, um, Modesto, but he went by Pete Cunanan, was a Filipino immigrant who had served in the U.S. Navy. And then he transitioned in becoming a stockbroker. And his mother, Mary Ann, was an Italian immigrant. She moved to the United States at a very young age. And she was not just a stay-at-home mom, but she was a stay-at-home mom. And yeah, his childhood was this weird mix of like dysfunction and like privilege, but it was like fake privilege, and you'll see what I mean. Because his father, Pete, was like obsessed with status. Maybe it's because he came from kind of more of a not financially secure family in the Philippines. And so he was just obsessed with fame and like being
Ugh,
seen as wealthy and like you have it all and you live this like luxurious lifestyle.
yuck.
Um,
I don't like it.
yeah, right. You know, because in addition to like, to get this lifestyle as a stockbroker, he started embezzling money out of people.
Oh, no
Um,
big deal.
right. And yeah, just really sad. I'll go more into that in a moment as well.
Okay.
So yeah, his dad was just this kind of egotistical dude, and then his mother, she was very religious, and her kids say that she was a mentally frail, mentally like fragile, fragile, like she was kind of neurotic,
Yeah.
and also the fact that Pete abused her emotionally and physically probably did not help her mental
Yeah.
health.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah, a
Fucking
true
Pete.
asshole. And then it just like continues to get weirder because um, Andrew was like the golden child, and I feel like his dad probably put him on the pedestal because Andrew was quite gifted in school. He had a pretty high IQ, and he was in all these special gifted programs. So he's like, oh, this is gonna be our ticket to money type of thing. Like he's gonna be
Oh,
smart,
yuck.
you know, like a cash cow type of
Ew.
thing.
Right. To
Right.
your
So it's like,
child.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Man.
he really put him on a pedestal to the point where they moved into a bigger house. And keep in mind, there's three other children,
Mm-hmm.
and they move into a bigger home and to be closer to the private school that Andrew's about to go to, which is quite expensive. Whereas the
Okay.
kids are just kind of like going to normal like school, normal public school.
That's a strange
Um,
choice. Yeah.
right. So they move into this big house, and Pete decides that Andrew gets the master bedroom, and they all have to, yeah,
Mm,
he
no?
he gets the master. That's just
No,
so
that's
weird.
not how that works.
Right. And you would think like he being the kind of guy he seems to be, he would want the master bedroom no matter what. So it just like is really
Yeah.
weird.
That's very
Um,
strange.
yeah. And
Like,
also, yeah.
I didn't even know what else I was gonna say to that. That's just so strange. Like, it's like, was he like controlling his dad at this point, or I don't, it's just so
No.
strange. Yeah.
Right, right. I mean, Andrew was said to be extremely charming, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's weird because their relationship was also like well into his teens. They would baby talk each other and
Uh,
they had baby names.
mm,
Yeah.
the dad and the son?
Yeah, the dad and Andrew.
Huh. I,
Right.
huh. Strange choices.
Strange choices. And like he would get them matching suits. He got him also like a brand new sports car to drive to school so he could fit in at this fancy private school where there are like kids of diplomats and like celebrities were going there. So, you know, yeah, it's just all very
It's,
strange behavior.
yeah, and so showy too. Like the kid in the master bedroom. I can't.
Dude, I cannot imagine being the brother or the sister in that situation and seeing this happen. Like, I'm sorry,
Or the
what?
mom.
Or the mom. Oh,
My goodness. Mm-mm.
yeah. Yeah. Interesting choices. Um, but yeah, so we started attending the school and he was pretty popular. He was also pretty openly gay at this point as well. And everyone knew him just to be this kind of like loud, boisterous dude. And people realized he was starting to tell a lot of stories. Like he would say that both of his parents are from Italy. Like he was really ashamed of the fact that he was half Filipino for some reason. Like he thought
Huh.
it wasn't good. So he would
That's
conveniently,
sad.
I guess, leave that out. Right. Um, and he would just make up all these like crazy, ridiculous stories about his life and his family members. And people kind of knew he was bullshitting, but they were like, okay, like whatever. Um, you're kind of fun to be around, so we're just gonna.
They just he was schwartzing
Mhm.
people.
Right, exactly. Oh, that's a good term.
Just being so charming. Like, no, I don't forget Schwartz.
Oh, nope. And we will never forget.
I am not a sympathizer.
But and also as he was a little bit older, probably in his junior senior year, he started to see wealthy like older men for like money. And he also was using and selling drugs.
Okay.
He started dabbling in that area.
Okie
And
dokie.
then his senior year of high school, so Pete's dad, I mentioned that he was fond of embezzling money. He ended up
Mm.
defrauding this 90-year-old woman out of a shit ton of money, and the family caught on, and the police were soon looking for him. And what does good old Petey do? He abandons his family and flees to the Philippines.
Back to the Philippines. Wow, Pete. You went,
Yeah,
and he didn't even want to admit the Filipino side, and now he's running home.
exactly. Right. It was
That's
just,
karma for you, Pete.
yep, for sure. And so now, like, this whole lifestyle that had been built for him just kind of unraveled right before his
Right.
eyes. His mom had like a nervous breakdown, of course, because, the cops show up at her door right after her husband just like took off. And it's
Yeah.
just really crazy.
And she may have already
Yeah,
had, she's already somewhat seems unstable to the children at least. So,
exactly. Hmm.
mm, yeah, that's a
And I think
lot.
at this
Damn.
point, yeah. Um, And I think at this point, the three other kids were just out and doing their own thing. They were pretty much ready to get out of there as soon as possible, which I cannot
Okay.
blame them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so after high school, things were not good. He was feeling super betrayed and abandoned, but he did start attending the University of California, but he soon dropped out. He moved to San Francisco and he got really involved with the LGBTQ community there and like the
Okay.
nightlife in there. And this is also where he started to do things like harder drugs like crystal meth and, you know, he was definitely like an addict,
Okay.
which isn't funny. It isn't funny, but he
We
was just like a tornado going around like,
just
oof,
chaos everywhere. Yeah. And there's going to
yeah,
be a lot of uncomfortable laughs. Just so the audience knows, we're not right now. I'm doing it. We're not
right.
laughing at the situation. We're just uncomfortable and we can't help that. So,
Right. It's just
sorry.
yeah, we will, yeah,
It'll happen.
yeah, exactly. And that calls for a sip of coffee. Woo. Um, okay, so as he was kind of parting his way through San Francisco, he continued to date a lot of wealthy older men that would kind of the lifestyle that he was claiming to like be born into pretty much.
Hmm.
Um, and he was very handsome and charming, so he started to build quite the little network around him, and he was like pretty popular. And also, since he had, you know, these guys giving him money and stuff, he would always like pick up the tab at like restaurants and things for his friends, so like people are just used to him like shelling out money like nobody's business.
Hmm.
um but it's just like it's a house of cards, and
Right.
like one little thing is gonna start making everything be crazy.
Hmm.
So a couple of the stories he would often tell, he would say that he's an heir to like a really big fortune. He said that he was going to be a producer for the Titanic.
Oh,
He said that he was a PhD candidate, even though he had like dropped out.
right. Did he even get like a bachelor's?
No, he just completely
Yeah.
dropped out.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep. And his new friends and acquaintances soon like saw his behavior as being like very erratic. So I'm sure all the
Okay.
crystal meth was not going great.
That will do it.
Um, yeah, that
I've
will do it.
heard. I've heard
Yeah,
at least.
lots of crystal meth, lots of alcohol, and
Oof.
he would also take like this like antibiotic. I forgot the name of it, but it's like he would take antibiotics like recreationally.
Interesting. Maybe it made you like
Mhm.
hallucinate or something because they are
Yeah,
have something to do with bacteria. I
right. Or
think.
it's like they say, you know, sometimes with antibiotics, like don't drink on them for multiple reasons, but sometimes certain ones, like you'll have like a little drink and then all of a sudden you'll be like super drunk type of
On
thing. So maybe,
antibiotics? Oh wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Um, so in 1996, he met another wealthy older gentleman who kind of ended up being like a long-term kind of relationship named Norman.
Okay.
And he gave Andrew like his own really nice apartment, an allowance, and this enabled him to continue living like he was. And this man said that Andrew at this time became obsessed with BDSM, which wasn't like his thing. He would like try to do it, but he said that the sex with Andrew was really like weird and he did not like it. And it got
Okay.
to the point where like they were sleeping in the same room, but like in two separate twin size beds.
Oh.
And it was just like weird.
I
And
wonder why
then
Norman like kept giving him an allowance and stuff if there must have been more to the relationship that Norman was getting out of it, I guess.
I think so. Like,
Yeah.
I think like a couple of these people that we're about to meet, um, being how like kind of charming and uh, you know, fun Andrew was, they just wanted to keep him around, or maybe they felt
Okay.
bad for him. Maybe they knew, okay, this guy isn't who he says he is, but I still like care about him, so
I don't want to kick him out to the
you know,
street. Right. Okay.
right.
Interesting. Okay.
So early 1997, he ended up ending their relationship because Andrew demanded to be in his will. He wanted a
Ooh.
BMW. He wanted his own private jet to use whenever he wanted, and or else he was leaving. So Norman was like, "No, I'm not putting you in my will. No."
Right.
And
Bye.
right. So that was that. And now Andrew was really, um, he was really fucked at this point because that was like his only money income. Um, so yeah, that is like early 1997.
Hmm.
It's like you think about what was going on in that time, you know? It was
Legos.
before Legos and I'm
Mud
sure
pies. I think it was the
mud
time of mud pies.
pies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Polly Pockets.
Ooh, Polly Pocket, Sky Dancers. You know those like
Oh, like the
spinner dancer
ribbons?
things. Yeah, or like the
Oh,
ribbon dancer, but the
yeah.
swirly ones.
Yeah,
Or
no,
like
those are
there's that
great.
video. There's a video of the girl sending one off and it accidentally goes into the fireplace
Oh
as it's like,
no.
have you seen that video? It's like a Vine.
Okay,
Yeah,
no. That's
it's an old
hilarious
Vine.
though.
It is because everyone's like, they're like, oh, look at it. And then all of a sudden everyone starts screaming as it's like right into the flames. Like you feel so bad, but it's funny,
Right.
you know?
Oh gosh. Yeah, I forgot about those things. Mm.
But what a time.
What a time.
What a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were 7, and then Andrew Cunanan was shit out of luck.
Right. Yep.
Yep.
He was up shit creek without a paddle. Um,
She's from the South. She can do that.
right? Yes. Thank you. Thank you for the backup there. And so around a few years prior to this, there's two other gentlemen though in his life, two other pretty much close friends. One is named Jeffrey Trail, who Andrew met in the mid 90s. And Jeffrey was born on February 25th, 1969. And he was a U.S. Navy officer. And he was just described as being like very well liked by his peers, very loyal, very reliable. Like he was just a
Oh,
stand-up good guy.
yes.
Um, yeah.
Okay.
And he was also gay, which at the time was challenging, especially in the military because it was in the don't ask, don't tell era.
Oh,
So yeah, that whole part of himself was really hard to navigate. And he also wasn't out to his family. So he's very much like in the closet
mm-hmm.
and still kind of coming to terms with his sexuality.
Right. Okay.
So Andrew and Jeffrey ended up meeting up through just the gay kind of social scene. And you can kind of like imagine that Jeffrey saw Andrew, someone who's just out in the open, proud of who he is, even though who he is fake.
Right.
But he was very like fun and flamboyant and was like, I don't care what anyone thinks. And, he really admired that. And they ended up being very close. And there are times where like Andrew, like even called Jeffrey like his brother to him. Like it wasn't a
Okay.
romantic, it was a platonic thing, but they got very, very close.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, yeah, and also just like a lot of other people, Jeffrey started to realize that Andrew likes to make up lies about his life and who he is, but he kind of also would just sweep it under the rug. And one of the like super odd things that Andrew would do is like for his birthday party, Andrew, like to the side, gave Jeffrey this pair of really nice shoes. I don't know the brand, but they're very expensive. And he's like, I got this for you to give to me like during the party so everyone thinks that you're a good friend or something like that. And you did this. And he's like,
No.
what?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's so awkward.
Right. It's like,
Uh,
and that just shows you how like delusional, like he just doesn't have the wherewithal to like, he doesn't, or he just doesn't care.
y- yeah. Yeah. It's just
Like,
so it's he must get that too from his dad, or like what he saw from his dad growing up, but like just being so like showy too
right.
is, I don't, is it like a fake it till you make it thing? Like what is the plan? What is the plan
Yes.
behind
What is the
that, you know?
plan? Oh man. Yeah. Right, right. And I guess like also if you think about it, like everyone has been enabling him in this like
True.
these delusions of grandeur like in his head because his dad was saying, and his mom actually, his mom
Oh,
would do
true,
it to him
yeah.
too. Um, she would really say like you're better than everyone else, you know, you're better than even your siblings, she said that she would tell him, and
Ugh.
all this. And actually the first known instance of Andrew being violent was with her.
Oh.
And he like they got into an argument. I forgot what about what exactly, but he pushed her and she like hurt her shoulder or something.
Oh my gosh.
um yeah, and she just told like the hospital that she like fell or something. But
Yeah.
and then Andrew meets someone named David Madsen, who was born in 1962, so a few years older. But he met him in December 1995. And David was in town for business. He was just a successful, not just, but he was a successful architect. He was just an architect.
That's all.
Right, you know, no big deal. And a
Yeah.
successful one, you know.
Little things.
But he lived in, right, you know, yeah. He was living in Minneapolis, but he would travel a lot for business and for pleasure. He was also gay, and he had a very like close knit circle of friends to begin with. He was very close with his family. And he had grown up in like an all American kind of home, and he
Okay.
realized he was gay in high school. And his dad said that he remembers David coming to him and like being really nervous and then coming out to him. And David was thinking like his parents would disown him and all this stuff. But his dad, you know, was like, oh, well, we're all sinners. It's okay. Like,
Oh.
I know. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I
And that
almost want
is
to say like good for his dad, but then I'm like, sinners.
right, right. Like, I'm going to love you anyway, which it's like, great, but
Can we
okay.
can we touch on the sinner part again?
Right, right.
No, for the time though,
Yeah.
honestly, that was probably like a really good reaction to get.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And like, you know, they didn't treat him any differently after
No.
that. But yeah, so he met Andrew, and their relationship was romantic. You know, they kind of had a long distance thing going on for a little bit, and then Andrew flew to Minneapolis a few times. He flew to there, but David kind of realized who Andrew was. He was getting the same vibes and was starting to distance himself. But he was close with Jeffrey, actually. They became friends.
Okay.
And there isn't really any evidence saying that they were romantic but together, but they definitely became close. And Andrew was said to be very kind of jealous of their friendship because they met through him. And
Right.
now, you know,
And he seems like
and
he would probably just be a jealous person too.
yes,
Like
yes. And
just like the
Andrew,
possessive tendencies he seems to have.
for sure. And especially at this case because he became like obsessed with David. Like
Okay.
he yeah, he was in love with this guy, whereas David was kind of like, like you were just kind of, you know, kind of a hookup, but like I want to be friends and everything, but I'm moving on.
But that's that. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh Jeffrey actually decided to move to Minneapolis in November 1996. So this is right before that older gentleman named Norman dumped Andrew. So here Jeff goes moving to Minneapolis. So one of his best friends leaves to go move to the same city that his like the love of his life, he
Right.
says, is in.
I'm sure he's
And
handling that
then
well.
Right. Can you imagine? And then as he's spiraling with that, becoming more erratic, demanding things from Norman, Norman dumps his ass and puts him on the street.
Okay, so he was still with Norman while he met these guys initially.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's like Norman kind of knew that what Andrew was doing, like hooking up with other people, whereas
Mm-hmm.
like David did not know about Norman type of thing.
Oh, gotcha.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. So this time, like Andrew is really spiraling. He ends up getting a job at a drugstore. God forbid, where he has more access though to like drugs and
That's
things.
what I was about to say. Whose idea was this? Watch out for the antibiotics.
Right, exactly. Keep those
Lock
on
those
lock.
up.
So yeah, his money is running out. His closest friends distance themselves. And yeah, by April 1997, his other friends just reported that he was, abusing pills and drinking alcohol like there
Mm,
was no tomorrow, like going absolutely insane.
wow.
And then later that month in April, he told his friends that he was leaving for San Diego because he's back in San Diego for Minneapolis at this point to take care of some business matters with
That's never
Jeffrey
good.
Trail.
Okay.
Right. Um, yeah, so he kind of throws himself a going away party on April 24th. And his friends thought it was weird that at this point, Andrew didn't cover the tab like he normally would, um, because he was absolutely broke.
Yeah.
And he actually reached the limit on his credit card buying the plane ticket from San Diego to
Oh, wow.
Minneapolis.
Okay, so he's broke going into it, into
Yeah,
arriving.
yeah. And he did a one-way ticket, which, of course, when Jeffrey and David found out, he's coming, they assumed that he would be leaving again, like after the weekend.
Right. As one usually
Um,
does.
right. So I guess Jeffrey and David kind of got together to figure out what to do with Andrew because they knew he was coming. And Jeffrey was especially upset with Andrew because, and remember, Jeffrey is not out to his family.
Okay.
Andrew sent his family a postcard, like pretty much shining it like, oh, from your lover, and
Oh,
like
come
pretty much like
on.
trying to out, like maybe in retaliation for moving away,
Y-
you know.
Whatever yeah, that's so terrible. God, poor
Right.
Jeff.
I know.
It's such a
So he
personal
was
thing.
right. Like he did not even want to see him. And at this time, Jeff actually did have a boyfriend that he met in Minneapolis that he was with. Um, So they were trying to figure out how to handle Andrew, and David was like, okay, like I'll take him the first night. And then Jeffrey was like, okay, I'm gonna be out of town the next evening, so we can just let him stay at my apartment so he can get out of your hair. And then we'll both kind of cut things off with him the last day and drop him off at the airport pretty much.
Okay.
So they were kind of like working out a plan.
Good plan.
So Madsen picked him up from the airport, and that night he stayed, of course, with him. And they also went out to dinner with David's coworkers that night. He had a very close knit group of friends that he worked with, and they noticed that Andrew was really weird. He kept on saying that him and David were engaged. He kept on like saying all these weird things. Yeah, like when David introduced him as his friend, he was like, "Oh, we are more than just friend." Like, just making it really weird.
That's deranged too, like saying that you're engaged to someone who you're here on like a casual trip to see, or at least that's what he thinks. Yeah.
Right, right. Just more delusional behavior. And then so on April 26th, Andrew went over to stay at Jeffrey's apartment while he was gone. Then the following afternoon, Jeffrey had told his boyfriend that he's going to meet up with him later on that evening because he needed to have a pretty important conversation with Andrew. Because he realized not only did he send the postcard, but once he got back home and Andrew wasn't in his apartment, he realized that his gun was missing. Andrew took his gun. So he's like, what the fuck?
Right.
So that was just kind of like the final straw. That's the 27th. So Jeffrey left his apartment to see Andrew at David's apartment shortly after 9 p.m. And he was let into the apartment at around 9:45 p.m. to retrieve the gun and to talk to him. And then after this, no one knows for sure what happened. It is believed that an argument broke out between Andrew and Jeffrey, and that it quickly escalated, and Andrew attacked Jeffrey with a claw hammer, striking him multiple times on the head. Yeah, he suffered numerous blows to the head, and no one is sure if David was present at the time of Jeffrey's murder or if he just returned to find Jeffrey and Jeffrey's body rolled up in a rug behind the couch, with blood everywhere.
God. Oh my God. With the claw hammer,
Either
too, he
way.
had a gun. Like, he could have used a gun.
Right.
That says
Yeah.
something, using a claw hammer, I feel like.
Yeah. It's definitely like a crime of rage and like it's personal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But either way, David knew that Jeffrey unfortunately was murdered by Andrew, and I'm sure he had no idea what to do because now he was trapped with this guy who had a gun,
Right.
who had already been acting deranged, and
So
now he just killed
terrifying.
y'all's friend. Yeah, I just can't imagine like that feeling of being trapped and not able to move or leave when you want to.
I know. That's, oh my God. And especially as, like, potentially your last moments, too.
So Jeffrey's boyfriend had started to become worried once he did not hear from him. He did try contacting the authorities. However, they kind of gave the whole spiel, someone has to be missing for a certain amount of time, and since you aren't a family member, they didn't really take him seriously, even though that was his actual boyfriend. So that is kind of unfortunate that they could have had a head start on all this. Jeffrey's boyfriend knew that he was going over to David's and that Andrew had been acting really weird and he had stolen a gun. So it is just unfortunate that the police didn't take his concern seriously.
I know.
Awful.
God, that is terrible.
Yeah. And also what's really sad is Jeff's sister had gone into labor as well. And this was like the family's first grandkid. And Jeff was so close with his sister. And so the parents are leaving voicemails on his machine saying, oh, she's in labor, get to the hospital quick. And he like just never shows up. Oh my God.
So traumatic
can't
for
even
her,
imagine.
too, that, like, her brother passed away on her child's birthday. Like, it's so hard to even celebrate that moving forward, you know? God, or it's gotta be, that's terrible.
Dude, for sure. So sad. When he never arrived, his parents then contacted the authorities and then they were like, oh, okay. We'll start maybe paying attention to this. But I mean, no one really knew what was going on. Like, I don't think Jeff's boyfriend really knew who David was either. He obviously knew this guy named Andrew, but the cops weren't listening to him, so whatever. But yeah, so over the next few days, Andrew just held David against his will. And they had been seen by some neighbors. David had a dog, so they would go out and walk the dog. And I'm assuming that he was just like holding him at gunpoint. And that must be so frustrating to be in public,
So
but
close to
not able to
freedom.
run. Ugh. But eventually when David started not showing up from work, his coworkers got upset, or, they knew something was wrong. And they show up to David's apartment. They hear the dog barking, but no one inside, or no one's answering the door. They thought they heard some voices maybe, but no one, just nothing. So they try to find the superintendent. And somewhere in this time, David and Andrew leave in David's Jeep.
Damn.
And, yeah.
That's
and
so
Jeff
frustrating.
is still there behind the couch.
Right.
So,
Man.
yeah, they end up getting into the apartment through the superintendent and seeing all the blood, and they call the cops. And initially they think that it's actually David who's rolled up in the carpet, and that
'Cause it's
Jeff
his
is the one
apartment.
that, exactly, yep, and that Jeff, because all of Jeff's vehicle is gone, everything. But then they notice that because David has blonde hair, Jeff had black hair, and it's black hair that they saw in the carpet. So now they're like, what is going on?
Right.
That's not funny. Well, so he was killed on April the 27th. On May the 3rd of 1997, David's body was found on the shore of East Rush Lake, which is a few hours north of Minneapolis.
Yeah.
He had been shot multiple times in the head and the back, and it looked like his body had been dragged about 20 feet as well.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. They noted that there were defensive wounds on his hands. Yeah, because since he was shot multiple times in the head, and on his back, like he was probably putting up his hands to maybe shield himself from the shot, which is just so sad.
I know. God.
Yeah. And then Andrew just fled the scene in David's Jeep, beginning his cross-country killing spree.
In David's Jeep.
Yeah. So, after fleeing Minneapolis, he drives to Chicago, where he next targets a man named Lee Miglin. And the exact nature of their connection is not clear. There is some speculation that they did know each other because they ran in similar social circles, but there is really no hard evidence that they ever knew each other.
Okay.
But Lee Miglin, he was an older gentleman. He was born on July the 12th in 1924 in Illinois. And just some background on him, in the 1990s, he was a really respected real estate developer. And yeah, he was also married to someone named Marilyn Miglin, who did a lot of, she had her own like cosmetics and jewelry lines, and she did
neat.
like the Home Shopping Network and QVC. So they were both
Okay.
very successful, and they were kind of like a power couple. And they also just seemed to be just legitimately like good people. They were big into philanthropy. They gave back a lot to the community. So it's like, dang it.
Just great people.
Right. Why does he just suck the life out of all the good people? But so on May the 4th is when Andrew arrives in Chicago. And he finds his way inside Lee Miglin's home. A few neighbors do report seeing the two talking outside the townhome, or they reported seeing Lee talking to a man in a baseball hat outside, a young man.
Which is probably him.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so what happens is, I mean, what happens next is definitely horrifying. Um,
Damn.
Marilyn happens to be away on business for the weekend or a few days. And on May the 4th is when Andrew does murder Lee Miglin. He was found in his garage, and he is bound and tortured.
Wow.
And they say like the way his face was wrapped like in duct tape, and there's just like two holes that were poked through the nostrils.
Oh my God.
Um,
That is
yeah,
horrific.
yeah. So he had been repeatedly stabbed and his throat was slashed with a garden saw.
Yeah, it's just so strange how every murder is so different. Like it was claw
Mhm.
hammer, then gun, then it's almost like he's like exploring. Like I don't think the other ones really had as much torture involved either.
Right. Yeah. It
It's
seemed to be
almost
very like in the moment kind of things. Like, who knows, was he ever going to let David go? Or did David
right.
try and run away? Or, ugh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, his body was discovered kind of partially under one of the vehicles in the garage. And he had also, it just several items were used with like more gardening tools.
Wow.
And it, yeah, and it's like a tube of hydrocortisone cream was found under his body. He had dressed him in Calvin Klein bikini underwear.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and just one shoe on.
Huh.
Um, yeah, and his ankles were bound by an orange extension cord,
Okay.
and his chest was weighed down by 2 bags of cement.
Oh my God.
Um, so yeah, he really tortured
Went
this
through
poor
it.
old man. Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. And then it gets even more actually deranged because after brutally murdering him, Andrew just decided to hang out in the home. He made himself a ham sandwich. He shaved in the bathroom. He
What
slept
the
in Lee and
fuck?
Marilyn's bed. He like took a nap in their bed.
Oh my
Like,
God.
what a monster.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. Like
Um,
it's like a whole extra level of confidence too. Like did he maybe know that she wasn't coming home or cuz usually you would be trying to flee, I feel like.
mhm. Right. And you know he has a wife, I'm sure by at least the pictures on the walls
Photos,
and
right.
right. But you know, if he was in fact talking with him outside, you know, maybe this is where people say, okay, maybe they did somehow know each other.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, he hung out there for a little bit. And he ended up taking a few rare coins, about $10,000 in cash he had found, and he took some of his clothes and shoes as well.
Okay.
Um, yeah. And he also took their 1994 green Lexus.
Okay.
Um,
Green Lexus?
gr- it was a green Lexus. Yep.
Man, I feel like a green car's really got to stand out. So now they have to get him.
Exactly. And they have, yeah. And also, this is when the big block cell phones were starting to be put in cars, which
Okay.
was surely like a novel thing at the time.
Yeah.
But Andrew wasn't, you know, Andrew didn't even think about that. Um, and at this time, the cops know that they know it's Andrew at this point, and he is now on the FBI's most wanted list. So
Okay.
we found they found David's Jeep outside of Lee's home, and that's how they've
Okay. I was about to ask. Okay.
forget that detail.
Okay. So they have to get
Which
him.
you would think, right?
Pictures everywhere. His face is out
Mhm,
there. We know he's in a noticeable, expensive car
right,
that we have the tags to, the colors, the make, the model. Okay. So we're getting him.
yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
They're about to nab him, right? Nah.
Oh God.
I'm sorry. That's bad.
The
That's bad.
delivery on that, and I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Perfect.
Well, so he starts driving. So little did he know the cellular phone has inadvertently become a tracking device, and so the law enforcement is able to pin his location.
So the car is
And
tracked too.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. Oh, dear. Okay. Oh dear friends. And so, but now it's kind of becoming like a news sensation, and it gets leaked that they are tracking him. They are able to ping his location occasionally from the cell towers.
Mm-hmm.
Probably hears this on the radio, or he's so like obsessed with himself, he's probably like seeing, oh, has anyone like reported me yet? Like, is this on the news?
He's got the Google search set up.
Alert. Yep. Yes. But yeah, so he ends up his route takes him from Chicago to the East Coast, and there's sightings and reports of him in various places. But they actually are not able to get him. But he knows that they will get him soon, so he knows he has to kind of do something, or else he's for sure gonna get caught.
Okay.
Yeah, so his next stop is in a place called Pennsville, New Jersey, and this is on May the 9th.
Okay.
So this whole thing started April 27th. It's May the 9th, 5 days after the murder of Lee Miglin, and he is going to strike again. This time, his victim is named William Reese, who is very much like 100% unknown, and unfortunately just wrong place, wrong time.
Damn.
Scenario. He is a cemetery caretaker, and he worked at Finns Point National Cemetery. So the exact details are unclear, but it is assumed that, Andrew held him up at gunpoint to steal his truck at the cemetery, and ends up shooting him.
Damn.
And yeah, drives away in his 1995 red Chevrolet pickup truck. And unfortunately, like a few hours pass before William's wife realizes hasn't been home and calls the authorities, and that's where they find Lee's Lexus. And then everything kind of like goes stale from there. Like, they've kind of lost him.
I cannot believe it, dude. He's in a red he keeps stealing the car of the people he's killing. Y'all know what he's driving.
Right.
And he's on the FBI so we have the FBI after this guy. Like the big guy, the big boys are in.
Yep, supposedly.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so they find the Lexus at in the cemetery parking lot, and then they discover several personal items belonging to Andrew, including a bag of clothes. And so this is all evidence that they need, confirming that Andrew had been in the area. And yeah, so for 2 months after that, Andrew's just on the run, and he makes his way to South Florida. And keep in mind, he does still have that $10,000. He still has the gun. And this is in June at this point. And he ends up staying at a hotel called the Normandy Plaza Hotel, which is a cash only kind of cheaper
like motel
situation. Kind of thing. Yep. And of course he stays there under a false name.
Okay.
But he just kind of spent his days just trying to blend in with the tourists somehow, going to like gay clubs, partying, getting fucked up, just kind of like, oh, maybe this will all go away. And
well, it's working out
Yeah.
him pretty well so far, actually.
Yep, exactly.
Unfortunately.
But eventually his money runs out, and he's desperate, so he actually goes to a Miami pawn shop to sell those gold coins that he had that were Lee Miglin's. And
Okay.
I think this is one of the most frustrating parts of the story is on the pawn receipt, he writes his full name, date of birth, his signature. He gives all that. And
His real
according to
name?
Florida law, yeah.
Oh, the real one.
He does.
Okay.
Right. So at this point, he's like, I'm good. I don't know why he would think that, but
Right.
clearly he thinks it's not a problem. According to Florida law, a person must be fingerprinted and they must show a valid ID when pawning an item. And he also wrote the address of the Normandy Beach Hotel where he was staying at as a,
Wow.
for his address. So he all the clues. Here's the thing. It did end up at the police department, but the guy that reviews the pawn shop records was on vacation that week.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Can you believe that?
So so it just didn't get reviewed, or it didn't get reviewed until the next week?
Yeah, I guess it just didn't get reviewed in time for all because they're finding this out way after the fact. But yeah. So this is where he runs into Versace, and it's like, did he just notice Versace out and about around town? I mean, Versace was very well known in Miami, so did he see him at some of the clubs there? Versace also spent a lot of time in San Francisco and San Diego. Did he know him from there? Because they also, Versace or Gianni Versace and his partner, they love to go out to all the clubs. So,
okay.
Either way, Andrew seemed to be obsessed with him. And if you think about it, who Gianni Versace is, he's this flashy, flamboyant, confident, super successful, rich,
right,
everything he wants to be.
Yeah.
It's I think he just becomes obsessed with him.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, after he pretty much stalks Gianni and murders him on the front steps of his mansion, he pretty much vanishes into thin air once again.
Shut the fuck up, Sam. I cannot handle this anymore.
I know. It is so... This is actually known as one of the largest failed manhunts in U.S. history. It is so crazy.
It really
How
is.
he has not caught.
They had him in a car with a tracking device. All they had to do was just shh.
Right.
That's it.
Just give a little.
All you had to do was literally nothing. With
literally.
your mouth, at least.
Right.
Okay. Damn.
I know. So irritating. And
so then he just lives his days out, I'm assuming, on some island, getting fed cocktails and...
Right. Well, thankfully, that does not happen.
Thank
and
God.
His days, I know, yep, his luck runs out. And I mean, at this point, everyone is on high alert. Someone just got, not even just a normal someone, Gianni Versace just got shot in broad freaking daylight. God. And now it's just everyone knows this is an actual pretty much serial killer at this point.
Right.
So it's 8 days.
Connect it to Andrew.
I think so. Once they found out about the pawn shop records and the Normandy Beach Hotel, that is what linked everything together.
Okay.
It was those gold coins.
But too late. Okay.
A little too late because of the freaking... It's wouldn't you have someone do your work for you while you're gone?
That's what's crazy to me.
Is there just one person?
This is the police, right?
Yeah.
And the big boy police. Okay. Yeah. I would just... Can I have some of my tax dollars back for that?
I think we're owed.
I'm gonna file my refund.
Right, like in the exemptions,
Right.
you know?
Y'all failed us.
Right. And you've got some splaining to do.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, yeah, his luck runs out. So it's about 8 days after Versace's death, and they're a caretaker for kind of a row of houseboats. Um, he called police to say he knows that someone was entering, like things around the houseboat were out of place as he's like going in to
Okay.
clean and stuff.
Yeah.
And he goes in again, and as he's entering, a shot rang out, like a gunshot in the
Oh, God.
house. And someone shouts at him, so he runs, and he's like, "This is weird," and he tells the authorities, and people are like, "Okay," the authorities are like, "This could be the guy."
Yeah.
So as they surrounded the houseboat, Andrew realized that the jig is up, and rather than face the capture, he decides to shoot himself with the same gun he has used to kill Versace and
Damn.
David, and takes his own life. And he is surrounded by newspaper clippings and magazines of Versace's death. Like, he was obsessed.
Ew.
Yeah. So that is his end. And unfortunately, he never gets to answer for his crimes.
That is so
Why he did
frustrating.
things.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. But
It's sad.
at least he's not here anymore.
Yeah. I kind of wanted him to rot in jail.
Right. And give the family just some more answers, you know, like,
Right. Yeah.
not that it would ever erase or heal anything that happened, but just a little bit of,
The
I
least
don't
he
know.
could fucking do at this point is hang around.
Yep.
Damn.
So that is the story.
That was a doozy.
Yep.
I feel like
Yep.
they're all going to be doozies, but
That one was just really, yeah, it's really rough. And I first heard about the story as a kid. I remember my mom talking about this. I just remember her talking about Versace being murdered in
oh
his mansion
wow.
or something.
Yeah.
And then I didn't really think about it or know that he had already killed all these other people. And then actually on Hulu, there's a really good series on this whole thing called American Crime Story. And it is so good. It is really
Okay.
good. I highly recommend watching it.
I do want to watch that. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy too that it like ties into the Versailles. All of them are so random. Like I know that obviously he knew David and Jeffrey, so those aren't like as the targets aren't that random, but like the way he goes about it is very random. Each one is so different.
I just realized the $1 thing was different. I'm remembering now that I believe it was a dude. It was like some producer, some person maybe in the industry, and they were taking a picture, and he literally like grabbed her ass or something.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize she only sued him for $1.
Yeah, I think it was just like the principle. It's the
Yeah.
principle of the situation. So
Okay. Yeah, fuck that guy.
yeah, fuck that guy.
Also, I feel like we have to talk about the fact that she did, oh, what was the song before Come Back Be Here? It was we have it in our chat. Oh, Black Dog. So she did
Yes.
Black Dog, Come Back Be Here, Maroon mashup. And then before that, what was happening with the bridges? Because I came
my
in
gosh.
like right at the end of that, and it was like I think it had the bridge thing had just ended, but everyone was like freaking out in the live
Right.
chats.
I actually did really good on Swiftball today.
Oh, nice. I still haven't played. I really want to.
Yeah,
I keep forgetting to do
you
it
should.
when it's open. I always think about it when it's closed.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. Okay, so she did Death by a Thousand Cuts and Hits Different, but there was another song in there.
Yeah, because she got like weird with the bridges at one point.
Right.
and
Oh,
I just didn't get to see it, but I saw like everyone's reactions to freaking out about it. Interesting. Okay. Maybe we'll get some
yeah.
more like clips of it in the next day or so.
Yep. And then the surprise song 2 was Come Back Be Here, Maroon the Black Dog. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I wonder why she was doing 3 songs.
Right, and it's interesting that it's Black Dog, Come Back, Be Here, and Maroon, like right after Maddie Healy got engaged, I feel like,
Mm.
too. Am I the only one who's on that train of
No, yeah.
thought? And then with
I'm
the whole
I'm picking it
Kelsey
up.
family there, too,
I
so like,
know. Oh my
what?
God. Some of those lyrics, man, in front of Mama Kelsey. Yeah, I think we're saying like touch me while your boys play Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's like Travis's boys are like, ew. You
Right.
know, like I'm your boy. It's me, I'm your boys. Um, but and Gabrielle is also younger. Like, is she young enough to not know who the starting line is? I don't know.
Ooh, good question.
Maybe.
That's a fair question.
And I did just get a crazy notion though, and this is probably so
Okay.
far-fetched, but you know how there's a big thing with 3-2-1 happening, like
Mm-hmm.
3 a.m. with Midnights, the
Mm-hmm.
2 with the
Yeah.
Tortured Poets, but now it's like she does 1 surprise song, and now 2 surprise songs, and now 3 surprise songs. I wonder if that's
Oh,
like something.
okay.
I don't know. But if
Okay.
she does 4 surprise songs, I think that will,
And then
yeah.
5, and then 6.
And then 5, and more. Just kidding. We're not chanting more.
Mm-mm.
But
Wow,
I
yeah.
feel like, and also the TikTok beads thing, where you're
Oh,
collecting the
yes.
beads.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
And
interesting.
I was just gonna say, because they have it could have been for like 11 weeks or 12 weeks, but they're making it for 13 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, I think it could have been 11. They're making it 12, and then like the last week is like almost the last like section is almost like 2 weeks. And then it ends
Yes.
on the 12th, so the next day is going to be the 13th of what was it, September, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So something's happening.
Right.
That's all
Right.
very strange. So
Super strange.
so funny that how everyone's talking about how they think they're like, oh, is she gonna add more dates to the tour? And then like they'll share like a transcript of her speech that is saying, this tour will end in December. It has consumed my life and I need a break. Like,
Yeah.
no, you're clowning too hard at that point. Chill out,
Right,
clowns.
right. Yes. Clowning too close to the sun, for sure. Clowns.
Bye, clowns.
Till next time, clowns.
Honk honk. No, we'll delete that.
Right.
Thanks for joining us on today's episode of Crimelia Street. You can follow us on Instagram at Crimelia Street or on TikTok at crimelia.st. You can also email us at crimeliast@gmail.com.